skyrocketed, so a $600 pension 10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is, and people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. We're live. It is Thursday night, the 21st day of the month of March, and hopefully tonight goes a lot smoother. Switched up a couple things on my end here, so we should be good to go. We should be able to get some good back and forth in with no problems or minimum problems. And so as always, my name is Mike, the host of RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. And we're live, and I'm looking forward to finding out, as you can tell from the title, what's on your mind. And so I want to get your thoughts on whatever happened today in the news that may not have come across my pathway, but more importantly on the video I did earlier about just the privilege and honor it is to be aware and in tune with some things to where you can hold a slight piece, hopefully, of your retirement portfolio in your possession. Because we all know that if you don't hold it, or if you can't hold it, you may not really own it. And I think in the days ahead, a lot more people will be realizing that everything they think they own or what belongs to them may not necessarily be theirs exclusively. So that being the case, let's go back and forth tonight. So as always, give it a second, let more people chime in. And as always, if we have anyone watching that's new to the channel, feel free to let me know where you're watching from. And more importantly, there's a number above my head, 1313-462-0027, which is for you to call in and let your voice be heard. And so everything should be running smoothly on my end tonight, so there should be no excuses why we can't have a good live stream. So that being the case, let me check in and see who's joining us thus far. So Tony's here. Okay. Nando, how you doing, my friend? We got Ace. We got Who Me. We got Peter. It says, I got a tiny amount of gold and silver, mainly for when stuff hits the fan. And so having a little bit of that is better than having none at all, which a good majority of the population might fall in that category as far as not knowing the difference between fiat currency and sound money. So you're on the winning side, Peter, I believe. TS, hello, how you doing? And so the video I did earlier, if you had a chance to watch it, I was inspired by Mike Maloney's video that he did earlier on the Basel III situation, where he actually went inside of a PDF file and extracted the words gold that was mentioned in that document and basically pointed out the primary reason that all this Basel III, I ain't gonna say noise, but this whole Basel III basically returning gold back to its original state of being a tier 1 or a asset with zero risk back into the limelight, basically mentioning that gold banks are now allowed to hold gold in their reserves as an asset and as a savings vehicle for themselves. And so they've issued us paper and all types of digits, but the banks are getting their weight up, and so hopefully you're doing the same with yours. And so I feel a little small with this camera. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Felt a little small there. Anyway, what's going on, people? What's on your mind tonight? And if anybody wants to call in, feel free to do so. I would love to hear your voice. What's happening out here in the news this evening? What's happening on the political front? Anybody want to talk politics now? I'm about that. Mr. Nando, if you want to call in and share your thoughts on some relevant topics that may be on your mind, I'm definitely about that. And we're going to keep it moving. And so Peter says, a Litecoin. So you got a little gold, a little silver, and one Litecoin. Okay. One Litecoin could definitely absorb some of the liquidity that's coming once this global. We're no longer in expansion because Jerome Powell has halted everything as far as interest rate hikes. So we're no longer expanding; we're contracting. So as this thing unravels, that Litecoin might turn out to be a pretty good investment. So Ace One says 401k and pensions along with IRA will not be redeemable in the near future. Just too much debt to honor promises made a long time ago, especially New York and Illinois pensions. Man. So that is a subject that you guys know I've covered a lot over the last couple years, just because all those promises to pay, unfortunately, were made at a time where the economy was a lot healthier, stronger, and as you mentioned, a lot less debt. And so basically states, cities, governments are tapped out. We've reached a point of complete debt saturation where the reason why Jerome Powell decided to halt rates is because we're at peak maximum of growth. Like, growth is no longer possible apart from some type of, as you see corporations doing restructuring, they're trying to lay off more people to make themselves more profitable. So what do you think the government is going to do once the tax revenue like right now may not turn out to be enough needed after those tax cuts? But more importantly, next year, if the economy does continue to slow down like it is, it's good to say by midsummer, end of this year, there's going to be a lot more job loss and therefore less tax return, less income for the government. Now, how do you think they're going to respond? And given the fact that government is not able to really produce anything of true value and substance, the only thing they can do is to pass some type of legislation that will expand their balance sheet more. So you can guarantee more debt is coming, which ultimately will expand the monetary base, which values the currency you're holding on to, and therefore it diminishes the chance of you being able to retire and to receive something that will be of value down the line. But that's just me ranting. I'm going to stop. It says, Peter, it says, you should look for Divi and WordPress video courses as an easy way to design websites without coding and earn a side income. Who, me? How you guys doing? It says, how do you think cryptocurrency will do? Who, me? Great question. I believe that cryptocurrency has been strategically placed in this particular time frame due to the Great Recession as a vehicle to absorb some of the liquidity for the extremely wealthy. So as we see now, the whole push for adoption, as well as institutional money, that's a lot of people are wanting, like I mentioned before, like the cryptocurrency sector, Bitcoin primarily, nobody knows the origin of it. Nobody really knows how, what, why, where. We all speculate on who did it, why, this and that. But at this current point now, and over the last couple, manipulating the markets in the way they have done, the year plus, that's been a great entry point for a lot of heavy wallets. And so I've actually looked at the blockchain wallets, and I see there's several hundred, if not hundred, maybe there's a lot of wallets out there that contain several $100 million worth of Bitcoin. And so my question is, who are those people that's holding hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoins? And so then those are the people that, and you can tell the activity of the wallets, and those wallets, those coins haven't been moving. So there's a lot of people sitting on a large amount of Bitcoin and everything else that will profit the most. And so small fries, probably such as you and I, we might reap some gains here and there, but nowhere near in comparison to what the financial institutions will reap benefit-wise, in my opinion. So that being the case, I believe it's turned into a vehicle that would allow the wealthy to be able to transfer some of their currency into the digital form and into whatever else next comes as far as a legal tender or monetary system. So initially, everything is always done for the best interest of a small few at the expense of the majority. So it will rise, but you know, hopefully everybody does well on a small end, but we will see. But good question. That's just my 2 cents there. Universal Vibes TV, greetings. UK in the house, enjoying the Brexit mayhem. Universal Vibes TV. It's about, what, 1 o'clock your time, 2 o'clock your time. What's the latest on the Brexit? I saw something about Theresa May trying to trying to convince them to exit or something like that today. Let me know what's going on there, man. I'm curious to find out more on that because, you know, a lot of mainstream sources is mentioning that's a part of the reason why the economy is slowing down right now. But we all know they were slowing down well before that. So, yeah, just more hype. Crypto Greece, BTC, XRP, Tron. All right. So my question for my crypto people that's tuning in, what's the ultimate crypto? Is there one single crypto that if you didn't have anything else, you would have this just this one and you probably would be all right? Or do you need to have a diversified portfolio of cryptos in order to hedge some of the losses from the scam coins to the potentially tech-savvy, disruptive type coins? What are your thoughts on that? Is there one single coin that's needed? Or do you need a couple? Real Jacob 167, how you doing, my friend? We got Bruce in the building. How you doing, Bruce? Sterling Holt, how you doing? Mike, he says, how can I get my hands on the 1 gram of gold you show off all the time? Simply, there's some information beneath this video here for the Gold Team. I would encourage you to join the Gold Team if you're interested. And so, you know, I have a couple of these things laying around the house now because I just personally, you know, just my own personal desire just to get heavy. So I get them and I just sit on them. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, it's a fraction of, you know, it's 0.1% of a portfolio, man. Hopefully 0.0001. But anyway, so the link beneath this video, the RTD Gold Team, click on that, become an affiliate because it has a lot more advantages than the customer. And if you're interested, you can pursue that and just shoot me an email and I can help you get set up. But sweet and simple, man. I don't look at it. I'm not promoting it. Just if you want to do it, it's available. What else we got here? Mike says they knew when they started the 401k and retirement plans they couldn't pay. Tony, very good point, man. And if people really cared and really was interested in finding out more in-depth information, there's a book out there by Andy Tanner, and it's called 401 Chaos. And I'm actually going to pull it up because I read it, and you can actually get it for free. And I've tried to reach out to Andy, but haven't had a chance to get him on. But his book is free online now. And let me see. Actually, I can probably grab the PDF right now. Images. So I'm going to actually pull the book up so you can see what I see. And so here's the book. It's called 401 Chaos. I'll click on it. Well, here we go. So here's the book here. It's called 401 Chaos. And it's, you know, I think it's a smaller book. Anyway, it's a good read, man. But he's selling on Amazon, but you can get it free. But if you go and get this book here, you'll have a much better understanding of how he lays it out as far as the, you know, 401k, you know, being somewhat of an illusional wealth vehicle that people will get bamboozled in having. So if you guys are interested, 401 Chaos is the name, and I'll actually try to find the free link because I downloaded it. Here we go. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to post the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Where we at? Where's the chat at? I'm going to put the link in the chat right here. I encourage you guys to just click that link there in a download instantly to whatever device you're watching. Read that and then come back and tell me what you think. Let me know what you think. And so what else we got here? It says, I enjoy, what did it say here? I enjoy, Legendary Lou, how you doing, my friend? Sterling Holt said, I enjoy your show, guns, ammo, food, water, and precious metals. Yeah, man. That's a diversified holding there. Says those coins haven't moved since the inception 10 years ago. Yeah, like it's a lot of wallets that's sitting heavy where I'm wondering like, is that really, yeah, is that all, you know, like who's holding those wallets? And that's what concerns me because it wouldn't be so far-fetched to think that some of those wallets might be central banks sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin in particular as a vehicle to save themselves or to transfer some of their own personal, you know, funds. I don't know, but just, you know, we just talking here, so you never know. Tony says, I think that Brexit and the U.S. goes hand in hand. Brexit goes, so does the USA. Yeah, I think, yeah, for some reason, I believe that if things are really starting to come apart at the seams in the way that we believe they are, I think Europe will go first. because of them already having so many different issues with the different governments is all heavily indebted there. So I would imagine the UK would impact, it would roll right into the EU first, and then it would trickle over here, or it could be all at the same time, which I would imagine the central banks would definitely step in and do something to try to prop this thing up. But I could be completely wrong. But we have a call, so let's find out what's going on. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. It's Russell from Missouri.
Russell from Missouri. Let me cut you up a little bit, Russell. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Oh, I was just listening to what you were talking about, the all the different wallets and whatnot in the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And I'm into the cryptos.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is, yeah, there's a lot of whales out there that have a lot more money than I do. I mean, I'm working on getting my first Bitcoin, to begin with. But I am where I'm at, and if I don't make moves to, as you say, get my weight up, I'm going to be nowhere further along. So, yes, there are these wallets that are going to get a lot more money than I am, get a lot more benefit out of it. But let's say Bitcoin does hit it big and become huge, like McAfee says it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't participate in that at all, I don't get to participate in any of it. Where if I do participate a little bit, maybe I get enough to get, a couple million.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not as much as somebody who has, 5,000 or however many coins they've got.
Yeah.
But it's more than what I've got now.
Right.
So the way I look at it is, if I had been smarter when I was younger, back when I bought a few, rounds of silver, back in the day when they were like $4.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have made me any richer now, but I would have at least been participating in the economy.
Yeah.
Where once I sold them, I was no longer even participating in that economy at all.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is it's better to participate in it and possibly gain and better your family than it is to not participate and not be able to take advantage of any of that. I mean, who knows? If I had years ago when I could have gotten into the Apple and Facebook, because I had the opportunities to do that. If I had done that, I might be able to get millions of coins now, thousands of coins now.
Yeah.
But I didn't, so I didn't participate back then. So I don't have I have only myself to blame for all of that. So I don't believe, I'm not going to feel bad that I am not participating as deeply as I'd like to. I'm just going to feel happy for those people that do, and do the best I can. That's the attitude I take, because otherwise you're going to just live in envy and all that kind of, that negative stuff is not going to get us anywhere.
Right. I agree 100%. And so being in it at any level is better than being out completely, just because you never know what it can become. And we know that it's disruptive because it's being positioned as a financial asset. So definitely, as I've mentioned and other people have mentioned, just having 0.01 of the primary coin stands to leave you better off than not having any of it. And right now, 0.01 is roughly $30 right now. So $40 right now. I think it's $4,000.
No, so 0.01 is about $100. Close to about maybe 50.
Yeah. So give or take. So basically, it costs you it costs you very little to expose yourself to it if you know what you're doing, if you want to be involved with that, and then you have the potential of reaping more, because it's basically the Bitcoin itself will become and is becoming a alternative to national currency. So national currencies, when people get out of their currency, they run into either metals or this new crypto ledger blockchain stuff, and it happens to be Bitcoin because it's the first one, original one, the most plentiful as far as it being in exchanges and whatnot. So yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere, but it's one of the things where how much do you want in it? You don't know. I mean, we'll find out, but yeah, definitely, in my opinion, having some is better than none. So I agree with you there, my friend.
Right. Well, here's another thing to think about. I was listening to one of my favorite guys tonight, and he interviewed a guy he's a CPA.
Mm-hmm.
And he's into crypto since 2017, which most people that got into it have been into it since 2017.
Yeah.
But anyways, so if crypto was going away, would the IRS be requiring us to file that? If crypto is going away, would Fidelity be getting into it as deep as they are? If crypto was going away, would Japan's largest retailer, kind of like our I don't know, Amazon, kind of like our Amazon, would they be getting into it? All these different but would BACT be getting into it, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on on that. So if crypto was going away, why would these major companies, why would the IRS even give a dang about it?
Yeah, good point, man. I hear you. So
it's here, and yeah.
Well, thank you, my friend, for calling in. I want to get to this next call, but I appreciate you calling and sharing that. I agree with you as well, my friend. Thank you.
All righty.
All right, have a good one. All right, looks like I missed a call. Caller, feel free to call back in and we'll get you on here. But I got to make sure my volume was kind of low on that, on that call there. So, yeah, definitely, I do agree. Let's see if we can get some. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Big Mike, what's going on, man? It's Caleb from Chicago.
Caleb from Chicago. How you doing, my friend? Let me see. My volume is a little low on my end. Let me try to. Man, I'm trying to see what's going on with this. Give me 1 second here. For some reason, my volume is low, and I don't like that because I can barely hear you. So I'm assuming people can't hear you either.
No problem, man. I understand. Hold on, maybe it's my volume. You hear me better now?
I do, but I think for some reason anyway. But go ahead. What's on your mind, my friend?
Nothing much, man. Big Mike wanted to holler at you, man. Man, listen to me. It's two channels, man. When it comes to the financial talk, man, the two channels that I really been listening to for the last several years, man. When it comes to crypto, it's the modern investor. When it comes to that gold and that silver and that really getting your weight up talk, Big Mike, is you.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? And the big thing is how the two channels right now, as far as the information, is converging, and it's all positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not really moving the market too much, just a little bit right now. But like the last caller was saying, man, you get all this good information coming in about crypto. It's not really moving the market too much, but it's so much good information.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, man, that's going to move up. You know what I mean? And then with you spit so much information about what's really going on with the ins and outs of everything, with the political scene, with the over there in Venezuela, with everything going on. I know that's going to hit ahead at some point too.
Yeah.
So I just, like I say, man, I give my weight up, and I appreciate it, man. And I know you touched too, man, because I'm highly favored, man. I know you are too, man.
Thank you, sir.
And you know they say my sheep hear my voice, Mike, and you the shepherd, man. I hear you when you talk about that. Get your weight up, because I know, man. And the other part of it, big fella, man, I hoop. Mike, I played college, man. I played overseas, man. So man, you would be the big fella, man. I want to throw you a hoop one day, big fella.
Man, it's been a while since I got up above the rim, man. I'm more of a finger roll type of guy.
Hey, man. Hey, I got some ice hot in the bag for you, Big Mike, man. We're gonna get you out there, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, dog. Good call, man. I appreciate the love, man. Thanks for your support, boss. Be good.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Yeah, man, it's been a minute since I done put one down. Oh, man, good old days, man. Like, yeah, so that's just one of the things where if you had a chance to play overseas and, if you had a chance to play and get paid to do what you love to do, man, that stuff right there, those memories last forever, man. Like, yeah, the memories, man. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, it's Typo from Massachusetts. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Hey, I just wanted to say first, excellent discussions. You rock.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out how to get my volume up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My volume?
No, because I think I'm gonna try to switch something out because I'm holding the speaker. Give me 1 second. Let me try something different. Just because the volume is low, and I'm concerned people can't hear. Hello.
Hi there.
All right, that's better. All right, what's on your mind today? What's on your mind this evening?
Two things, please.
Yep, go ahead.
First one is I believe that Litecoin will ultimately be an excellent resource, even if we have civil unrest, even if other things break down, and because of the Lightning Network.
You said because of the Lightning Network?
Yes, and the fact that it won't require exchanges.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Because it won't require an exchange.
Really broke up there. I heard you, but I didn't. Because it won't require what again?
An exchange.
That exchange, yeah. So that's like, and another thing that has yet to really hit the scene is that whole atomic swap where you can get in and get out of a variety of coins without having to actually utilize the exchange, and they got the decentralized stuff coming on. So there's going to be a lot of ways to get into the market. Now it's just a matter of getting people to understand how to use it and be willing to accept it and hold it and spend it, and to actually have it circulate to more people's hands, primarily the baby boomers. Until the baby boomers become comfortable with using crypto, it's going to be one of them things where, because all the true wealth is in the baby boomers' possession right now, or stored up in accounts for them. So until some of that comes out, it's one of the things where it's going to be nickels and dimes until if it ever happens. So hopefully sooner than later for those that are expecting another spike in prices.
Excellent. I agree.
Yeah. Well, hey, Typo, I appreciate you calling.
Have a great night.
All right, yep, you too. Thank you. Yeah, man, great calls as always. Appreciate you guys calling and sharing your thoughts. What's going on in the chat? Let me figure out how to... This volume thing is kicking, but I don't like how everything is running smoother, but my audio is not where it should be. But let me go back up top. What's going on in the chat? It says, download this app from the App Store, Coin ATM Radar. It says, Tron will rise to replace ETH, and DApps and Rise will remind of the BitConnects. It says, K-Leg is called Leg Between. What else we got going on? I am subscribed, but he is a scary but smart and big XRP fan. What we talking about there? TMI, comment people, 40 plus watching, only 8 likes. Yeah, Caesar, yeah, for whatever reason, of course, like always, no one, it's very selective as to how the notifications go out to even give people a heads up they were on. So, not surprised whatsoever. I notice when I do live streams from my phone, I tend to get more people because for whatever reason from the phone, I guess the YouTube app makes it a priority to notify more people. But it would be great. It would be great if YouTube actually was very useful and made themselves useful by notifying everybody that clicked the notification bell. Like, what's the point in clicking a notification bell if nobody is able to actually get notified? So that's a problem in itself. We need an app, a third-party app that can notify people. That'd be something wild. If you got any programmers out there. App. There has to be an app for that. But what else is going on in the chat? It says, wrote this earlier. Love your work, Mike. Bocane, how you doing? It says, have you discussed palladium? The current situation got me to think I need some platinum. So I bought 40 grams today. Any insight into these two precious metals? Bocane, man, great question there. I actually, just for a lack of awareness and even taking the effort to really dive into it, I know they're precious. Why? Because they're on the periodic table, and so I always reference things I don't know or study directly. If it's in the periodic table, if it's one of the elements from the earth, God gave it to us, so it's definitely of use, and it definitely will have some type of monetary value in the end. As far as the use case, apart from the automotive sector for whatever it's used for, I don't talk about it much, but definitely I know price wise. I think it's platinum, or either one of them is half of what it used to be in comparison to gold. So I had a guest on, Mr. Who is it? Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen, I can't think of his name, Lin, I think it's Lin, the gentleman I had on, Lin Chen, I think episode 83 or whatever, he mentioned about how he personally likes, I think it was platinum and palladium. So I would encourage you to go back and watch that video, because during that video he laid out as to why he's hedging heavily in that particular metal. So definitely something to keep doing your thing, my friend. And so what else we got here? Omnibone says universal basic allowance. And then what else we got here? It says Powell eliminated the responsibility rate, more debt for all. Yeah, man. So yeah, I have to get caught up on that. Other than just hearing a little bit last night, I didn't have a chance to dive into it further today. But from what I gathered, if they're talking like flat out, there's no need. Excuse me. There's no need to raise rates anymore. That lets me know that basically they're preparing to eventually have to cut them rates. Because if we're so-called in this economic expansion and everything around us is slowing down, even the mainstream media is talking about slowing down more, then that lets me know that we are not really expanding. Dang. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? It's Lou from Queens. I was trying to ask you a question in
I'm
the
sorry.
comment section, but it just wasn't popping up.
All right, Lou from Queens. How you doing, my friend? What's in your mind?
I'm good, thanks. I was wondering about like life insurance policies, like whole life or universal or whatever that build up cash value based off of what's going on in the markets.
Yeah.
At this stage in the game, I was wondering if you think that would be a good idea, something to get into, or if I should, kind of just leave it alone.
Okay. Well, first of all, everything I'm going to share with you is my opinion, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is just entertainment. But I'm gonna just share a story with you, and that'll kind of let you know what I'm saying and where I'm heading. There's over the last decade especially, I've been covering Zimbabwe very heavy. I've had a couple guests on from Zimbabwe to give me a better in-depth look into how the economy and how the dollar, the Zimbabwean dollar, failed the people there through hyperinflation. So I'm sure you're aware of that, correct? Right. And so I actually came across several articles in their news channels over there, like whatever news source.zr, whatever their .com is, of cases where there were a lot of insurance companies as well as all the financial vehicles were not able to actually pay out their to their clients. And so I remember an article, and I didn't save it, but I do remember the article where it talked about all the life insurance policies, how once the currency was hyperinflated away, the insurance companies were trying to play that role of, we only insured you for $500,000 Zimbabwean, back when that 500,000 was actually a number that was pleasant to your ears. But now that you have a $500,000 note in your possession, here's your 500,000. They didn't adjust. Basically, is what I'm saying. They didn't adjust the payouts, the promises, so nothing on the institution side was adjusted to compensate for the government's hyperinflation. And so I'm not sure about the fine print and the details and contract. I don't know. I never looked that far into it. But I would imagine that if there is a currency event, then I would imagine that the insurance carrier, financial institution, whoever you're utilizing, would definitely not say, okay, we'll adjust your policy due to inflation. So with that being the case, I think you'll be on the outside looking in if things hit the fan from a currency standpoint, in my opinion, based upon what happened in Zimbabwe, and I would imagine probably Venezuela as well.
That's very interesting.
So those are real stories, man, that people, I'm assuming, have experienced, and so I don't think the institution is going to adjust it for your sake or my sake or anybody else's. So they'll just say whatever happens, they'll be able to get out of it because of the currency situation. It's a national crisis type of thing. So just my 2 cents, man. That's my opinion.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, boss. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Yeah, man. Good call, good question. You know what I'm saying? All opinion based, but based upon what happened around us, we can learn a lot from things that have happened in other countries. So definitely things that we should keep in mind, in my opinion. So what do we got going on here? It says no life insurance except gold. Wow, Mike works hard. Wellness, I appreciate that, man. I have a Waves wallet labeled life insurance. What's that kind? What's that song? I have a Wave account labeled life insurance and one for burial expenses with 0.01 BTC in it. You got your 0.01. You got your 0.01 BTC policy, huh? No life insurance except gold. Best insurance, silver, shovel, a hole, and dirt. You do this 5 nights a week. Wellness. I try to do 4 Monday through Thursday if I can. And so this is, I enjoy hanging out with you guys, man. It's fun to, after an interesting day or something like that, come home and just sit down. Even though sometimes it's hard. I be tired, I feel like I'm neglecting my wife a little bit. So, I'm probably going to end. It's about that time to end pretty shortly. Everybody just getting settled in. But it is what it is. It says at 1 million per BTC, that 0.01 will be worth 10,000. And so the question will be that 10,000 might be good for. Ain't no telling, it's no telling what that 10,000 might be good for in an environment where hyperinflation, if it's as a result of that, where 10,000 would really be something substantial. But it'd be better than having just solely a Federal Reserve note, in my opinion. It says, what about 500 in BTC? 500 in BTC would put you well above 0.15 or 0.12 probably, which would then equate to 50,000. So you have $50,000 if it went up to $100,000 or $1 million, give or take 50,000. 0.1. Yeah, 50,000. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Good point, Mike, about the life insurance payouts. Yeah, just my opinion, man. And I think the best teaching tool is just to look at what's happening in other countries. Apart from the fact we have the reserve currency, that's the only thing that makes us different, because the world needs our notes for now, whereas in the world don't need Zimbabwe dollars or Venezuelan bolivars. So their government has issues just like everybody else's. It says, we will not ever again see Bitcoin priced at $1 or 10 or 100 or 1,000 again, maybe 3,000 too. Omnibone. I wouldn't mind having a cheaper Bitcoin. I wouldn't be mad if it went down again. Perhaps you may not either. Could be another opportunity. Now the airlines will pay. It says, message received. Get the family broadcast percentage in perspective for sure. It's how monopolies behave. Exactly. Yeah, man. Real talk. This is real talk. So what else is going on out there, man? I see everybody's shifting to crypto talk. I gotta get caught up on the government situation. Don't skip my comment. Where we at? Spirit. Mike, here's a lesson about capitalism. The Boeing 737 has an alarm to detect the flaw. Where we at? Where'd it go? Where'd it come? Detect the flaw that made these two planes crash, but it was sold as a premium, and the airlines didn't pay for it. That's not funny. If that is spirit, if that is real, then I would imagine that premium probably could have been several $1 million, and they're thinking like, this is a brand new jet, top of the line, this and that. There should be no problems. So the fact that there's an option out there that can detect, I would imagine as a courtesy to all the planes out there, Boeing better go make those upgrades for free if they want to get those Boeing 737s back off the ground. And even with the detection, will it be a situation where you're in mid-air and then all of a sudden the beep, 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 it goes off and the damn planes start going down? Or is it something like doing just a normal systems check? It'll show up while you're on the ground and can get repaired. So if that's the case, man, that's definitely, that's bad news. That's not good for their case. So the whole world seems to be monopoly. I would love that too. Supply and demand, my man. That is the key. Amazon got 4 crypto domains. Yeah, I heard about that sometime. I think it was last year. And so my question is, anybody out there want to take a stab at it? Who will be the first major USA retailer or monopoly or conglomerate or whatever you want to call them to accept cryptocurrency, which will probably be a pool of them, BTC, BH, BCA, whatever. So in your opinion, who will be the first one, and will it happen this year? Or has something happened that I'm not even aware of? Show of hands in the chat. Anybody want to answer that question? Let me know. I'm curious. It says, keep yourself in prime health in order to enjoy any future gain to the maximum post-reset. And supply OTC has to be running low, and Coinbase on the exchange only has under 5,000 BTC for sale. Wait till the next wave comes. 5,000 BTC. Amila, how you doing? Says, hi, if you need to jump on a plane to get out, how can you get a large amount of metals on the flight safely? Amelia, you will not be able to do so, especially when they start checking. And so, on a little side note, over the last couple of years especially, for people who travel internationally, have you noticed that the dude, the customs card that you get on the airplane where you got to declare everything, how I've noticed that the fine print as far as the currency or monetary units that you have to acknowledge, whether it's that $10,000 or not. I remember years ago reading that card, and it was plain Jane. It was just, average. There's probably nothing they've changed in 20, 30 years or however long they've been requiring people to declare whatever they bring it in. But over the last, was it 5 years, perhaps 4 years for sure, the writing has changed to include, I forgot what the exact writing, because I took a picture of it one time. I was flying out of the country and flying back in. And I'm thinking, like, man, they're eventually going to ask you if you have any crypto and do you have the private keys on you type of situation on that damn card. And so, and expecting people to like really tell the truth. Like, so my reason I say that is because when it comes to having metals, you won't be able to actually take those metals, those physical metals with you. That's why several people mention about, if you are a person who are looking to get up and out, then you should have some waiting on you where you're going, depending on the location and whether or not you can trust it there. And then also, depending on how the next go-round goes, one thing I'm excited about finding out more of, which I'm going to have my guy Brian McGinty back on, but with the Carrot Bars program, they actually have a cryptocurrency, KBC, that will be backed solely by gold, and gold in the vaults, in the ground. So that'll be a good option. So there's going to be a lot of things labeled backed, gold backed currencies, gold back this, gold back that. So those are all things that people would have to rely upon if they're planning on going somewhere. So just stuff to keep in mind. Well, good question. I appreciate you asking that question. It says Starbucks through back, maybe. Okay, so yeah, I heard. So Starbucks is a major. Okay, Starbucks. So I heard that Starbucks, that's become more public. It was initially mentioned, but it becomes more public now. So I think that is probably the first, even though I don't like Starbucks. So, here's another question. For those that are anticipating the price of cryptocurrency to go up, who in their right mind would really look to spend them on something that isn't really worth the value of what you're purchasing? Because to spend $5, $6 of your Bitcoin on a Starbucks right now, you're losing, because that cup of coffee wouldn't really satisfy you in regards to the amount of returns you could get for that same $6 if you hold on to it to and through the next rally with that $6, which is probably what? 0.0018%. Could easily, that's 3 zeros and a 1. I don't know why they call that Satoshis. 0.001.8, whatever. 0.0018 could easily be a $20, $30 opportunity for you to get 5 or 6 Starbucks, if you were patient. So that's the whole thing. That's one of the problems with this push for adoption, because people, of course, the younger, more enthusiastic crowd in cryptocurrency want people to spend and use, but that's based on Gresham's law. You tend to use what's of least value first because it's expendable. Whereas in something of value, if you consider cryptocurrency to be of value to you in the long run, you might want to hold on to that and not really spend it, or be picky with what you spend. And that's just my opinion. I don't know much. But I do have a super chat I have to acknowledge. Dr. Fart says, my butt makes noises. It does. My Dr. Fart. So does mine. Man, what a coincidence. Thank you for highlighting that. I appreciate that. Student of Life, it says, people will spend when you can purchase real estate, land, and homes, etc. And so that right there, Student of Life, will be well worth spending for. When you can spend a digital blip to acquire something that produces some type of cash flow opportunity, then that right there is worth taking to the bank. Figuratively. Or literally, either one. Adoption, doctor, okay. Nature, dude. Why have they shadow banned Rethinking the Dollar? Noise on the line. Lots of spammers. You must be good, doing good work. Typo, I appreciate that. You have people here that's really interested and want to get involved in a community environment to engage with other people, to learn, to grow. Then you have people who they haven't figured out their purpose in life. And so it's easier for them to just roam looking for stuff to get into because they haven't found themselves yet. So I really don't get mad at people who looking for, they're looking for answers, man. Everybody's looking for something. Some people found it, some people haven't. God bless everybody, man. I want everybody to find their purpose and their calling in life and do something positive and help other people. If they're helping other people, if dropping, doodle signs and stuff like that is entertaining, I'm sure that could be a YouTube channel with a doodle little emoji, have a million subscribers and do quite well. Yeah, man. But it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. So we got a little article here. Let's see what this article is talking about. Consumer debt. Okay, so Spirit, this is what you mentioned the other day, because I didn't quite get what you said about consumer debt. But it says consumer debt hits $4 trillion. $4 trillion. That's a fairly large number. Now, the question will be, they show some people here walking with some Lord & Taylor bags. And I think, isn't Lord & Taylor's one of the stores going out of business or closing pretty soon? So let me see what's going on here. $4 trillion for the first time. After outstanding consumer, outstanding, which means that stuff is still on people's credit cards and then just on people's balances in general. So here's a nice little graph. Mountain of debt. So since 1965 probably is when it started. So I wonder that any coincidence to 1964-ish when they removed silver out of coinage and began basically just issuing more paper, and then shortly thereafter, around the same time frame here, gold was no longer part of the equation. And isn't it coincidence that when silver and gold were both removed at this point here, how everything just went bananas? Isn't that interesting? I wonder if we didn't remove gold and silver, would there be so much consumption and consumer debt? Any guess out there? Yeah, probably wouldn't be. Depository institutions, 4.01. Credit unions, 3 trillion. Federal government, what's that? Federal government right here, 1.7 trillion. Finance companies, other. So yeah, so credit unions, non-revolving. Credit unions look a little bit suspect here, and people love to, think about credit unions as being a place where, they won't be bailed in. But I don't know. They attach to that. So here's some more statistics. It says the average American has a credit card balance of $4,200. Anybody out there with that meets that statistic there? Anybody willing to show a hand in the chat? Just put a hand up if you're one of those people who keep an average balance of $4,200 according to Experian. It says now more than 1 in 3 people, or 86 million Americans. 86 million Americans say they're afraid they'll max out their credit card when making a large purchase. It says most of those people consider the large purchase $100. So yeah, I've mentioned this before. So this is why the economy is not doing as well as we would like to think. So this is why a lot of companies aren't as profitable as they would like to be, because of situations like this. very alarming, I must admit. Extremely alarming. But that is what it is, man. It is what it is. Bitcoin, Litecoin, gold too. So, people, we're approaching our hour point as always. How long we been chit chat? Let me look at we've been to about 49 minutes. So, I think it's been a very good and productive evening. I think we've covered a couple great topics there. And so, as always, I want to make sure I encourage people to take advantage of everything that's to my left here. All the free resources of just information, ebooks. Man, you mentioned it. Everything that I've done over the last couple of years, I've managed to be able to save it and present it to people who are new to the fold. If you have interest in getting involved in anything, this retirement myth book here is a collaboration with Wealth Research Group. And so, you know, I had a good chunk of stuff to put in there. So if you guys haven't got that yet, the link is down below. Definitely enjoy that. And more importantly, continue to get your weight up. Anyway, be safe, be blessed. And more important, I'm looking for some Patreon supporters. Anybody out there want to support your boy via Patreon, your help will be appreciated because it allowed me what I want to do. And as I'm going to be looking to do this spring is to try to bring a person or two onto the channel as like in a team format so I can have some additional voices to help create more content because there's a lot of videos I just can't get to in one day because of everything that goes behind the scene. But if we have any other YouTubers out there, people who want to get involved in alternative media space and share a similar interest and of like mine, shoot me a comment or shoot me an email, and definitely we can go through like a little process to see if you can be an asset to the program, man. We'd love to have some more people helping out. So as always, we got about how many thumbs up we got here? Let me check. What's the thumbs up count? I can't even tell how many thumbs up we got. But anyway, if you've been enjoying the chat thus far, don't be afraid to donate a thumbs up. It won't hurt you. It's absolutely free. It takes maybe a smidgen of energy to go boop and to hit that thumbs up just to show your support. Appreciate you. But other than that, be good, be safe, be blessed. See you guys probably tomorrow. Peace.